Welcome, friends. My name's Kevin McGuire, and we are live from Gatlinburg.
When we were volunteering with the Sevierville Rescue Squad, we got to meet Mac and Val Mason, and those two came in and they were so sweet. There was definitely shock going on, and they were actually the first people that I worked with there and volunteered with that I got to feel that and see that one-on-one with, and tears and laughter and not knowing what's next all in one. They just got there, and they were there, and kind of living minute by minute. So they're very sweet. They got taken through by another volunteer and just grabbed a couple things and then went on their way out the door. But they just were always on my heart. They were very, very kind, sweet people. And I remember when we were talking that they were telling me about their car. It had been melted, but they made it out in this car that had, been on fire and melted, and it just hit me what people really were up against trying to get out of there. And they told me their story about leaving their home, and it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I was actually surprised I made it.
We had seen, start from the morning, we had seen quite a bit of smoke, and we were making jokes considering that we were being told that this fire was nowhere near us and it was never going to get near us. So we made our few little jokes. Fire was still in the park at the time. During the early evening, we were sitting and eating supper. I said, it's really getting bright out there. Our grandson walked out and looked at the mountain across Roaring Fork. He came back and told me that Roaring Fork Mountain was on fire. It was a small fire. About 5 minutes later, we watched an ember fly from that mountain into our backyard. When it hit in our backyard, it was like someone had thrown gasoline on it. Just fastest thing I've ever seen in my life. We went to grabbing whatever we could, which consisted of some important papers. And we had several animals, 2 dogs and 2 cats, and a bird. I was trying to get the animals out. House was burning inside and out within minutes. Walls were coming down. I'm still inside trying to get the animals. We got all but one. And there came a point in time, as a matter of fact, let me back up a minute. The last one that I got was the dog, and it knew that there was only one way out of the house. It was laying next to the front door. I reached in to grab the dog from the front door, and it scared him. He was terrified anyway. He ran back into the house, so I went after him. Well, by the time I got him, we couldn't see. It was full of smoke. It was full of fire. Couldn't breathe. So we got down on the floor, and I knew where the front door was. So I crawled towards that front door. We got to it. I'm dragging the dog. We got to it and fell out onto the front porch, and the fire was already underneath the front porch, coming up through the cracks after me and the dog. Well, we got out, but the next problem was we had to get down the road. The road only had one way out, so dead-end street. Wind was blowing a solid wall of fire across the road. My grandson was driving. He said, how do I get out? And I said, son, you know the road is straight right there. Drive through it. So he floored it. we come out on the other side. During that time frame of just going through that quick wall of fire, it melted parts underneath our car. It was that hot. The fire was spreading, houses was burning, and we were pretty much the last ones to get off the mountain. Our fault, we were trying to get the animals. We made it down, bottom of the hill, looked back, everything was on fire. And we knew, although we knew it would be about a week or so before we could get back into our property, we knew when we went back there would be nothing there. And we were right, absolutely nothing. People talk about, well, you got out with your life, and that's very true, and things can be replaced, and yes, that's partially true. I have a name from my great, great, great Scottish grandfather, and I had his mantle clock, about 200 and something years old. I had it restored about 50 years ago. That's gone. Every picture that my wife and I had just about of our whole life, 22 years in the Army, is gone. We can't replace those things. The stove and the refrigerator and the couch, that's not a concern. But everything else meant so very, very much to us. And because of some decisions made somewhere that we were going to be perfectly safe and that fire never would get there, and we did not get those things. That's kind of the thing that sticks with me. Since then, it's been difficult trying to get foundations passed, builders, which have gone ridiculous in cost, materials, things of this nature. It's made it very, very difficult for us to try to get rebuilt. Good news. We are on a schedule with a builder to start rebuilding about the third week in June. It's been a long time coming. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah,
Thank y'all so much.
I live in East Parkway behind the East Side Motel, and I waited to the very last moment to go to the community center, and I was in the community center for 8 days.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't really see a whole lot except for in the distance.
Yes.
And it came closer and closer and closer, and behind our house, it started coming toward the house.
Now, are you talking the smoke or the flames?
Flames.
Oh.
When we left, all the fires were on the left-hand side, pretty much blazing, and we made it through the fire.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, now I am found. Was blind, now I see. Through many dangerous toils and snares, we have already come. It's grace that's brought us here this far. lead us home. Grace is gonna lead us home. Lost. Now I am found. I was blind. Now I see.
As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the robe and crown? Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, sinner, let's go down, come on down. Oh, sinner, let's go down to the river to pray. Oh, sinner, let's go down, don't you wanna